Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by to see me today. Thank you so very much. People, you know, a lot of y'all go to church on Sunday. And you love your pastor. You love his dirty draws. Well, some people do. Some women even sleep with them. You know, some pastors, well, I'm going to say a lot of them, they're low down and they dirty. And they cheat and they lie. And they do things that they're not supposed to do. Now, you don't know what secrets that anyone has, okay? Including your pastor. Like I told y'all once before, everybody has secrets, okay? Things that they don't want you to know because they're embarrassed by it. Or they shouldn't have been doing it anyway. But you know, sometimes things come out in the church. But you love your pastor so much, you don't care if he was stealing from the church fund. You don't care if he was sleeping with the women in the church. You don't care. You don't. Because I love my pastor. He's a man. He sins like everybody else. And I forgive him. I forgive him. So they continue on and they keep the pastor. Not only that, y'all, he still continues to do the same thing. Now, today I'm going to talk about a pastor. Y'all heard him, Gino Jennings. I want y'all to tell me if Gino Jennings, I can't even say his name, Jennings, is right about this, okay? He said, you shouldn't make the pastor rich. He said the pastor should have a job like everybody else. So basically, he said, you shouldn't make your pastor rich. Look at T.D. Jakes. Look at Creflo Dollar. Look at Joel Osteen. Look at those pastors. Mega churches. Mega money. That's what that means, okay? Listen to what Gino says. Listen very well to all you people who are going to be tearing me up down in the comment section. But as long as you keep it on the video, like I said, the topic, not me, okay? You start talking about me, you're gone. Here we go. Listen.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
When God make a preacher, God don't make a preacher for you to pay him. Who paid Jesus?
Right. But do you agree that the ministers should have some kind of salary? They should be compensated.
Let them get a job and go to work. The Bible said if you don't work, you don't eat. What the preachers have done, they have took the pulpit and made it business. That's why you see them. You see Benny Hinn, these international fellas, the $10,000 prayer line, the $50,000 prayer line. It isn't practically every preacher before he go off the television.
So that's not a job then?
No.
I mean, I need to know this.
No. When God make a preacher, God don't make a preacher for you to pay him. Who paid Jesus? It ain't a preacher walking this earth that's bigger than Jesus. There's not a preacher on this earth that's better than Jesus. He didn't get paid a salary. So why do these preachers got to get paid a salary? God will bless you based upon the amount of money you give. Well, if God only going to do something for me based upon my money, what about if I don't have no money?
Right.
And Jesus taught us, the poor you have with you always. So I don't want a God who only can do something for me when I got money. Because if I need money and don't have it, then I need to seek God for it.
He said, Jesus had a job. He was a carpenter. I remember that in the Bible. But these ministers today, and pastors and apostles, whatever they want to call themselves now, are lazy. They don't want to work. They want the easy way out. They want to go up to the church every Sunday and preach and travel around the states and preach. preach. That's all they want to do. They don't want to do nothing else. They done made the pulpit a business. That's what he said. They ain't gonna get no job because their business is the pulpit, preaching for God. Now, to me, I don't know. You can tell me if you believe this or not. I'm kind of on point with Gino Jennings because I look at this like this, okay? Now, the church is there, supposed to help the people in the church, and not only that, they supposed to help their community. Have you ever seen the church in your community doing stuff for the people of that community? Have you seen them? Have you saw them, seen whatever you want to say? Have you? Hardly ever. Now, there may be a few tiny people, okay? Now, you got people in your congregation that's struggling, especially now with the times that we're in now, struggling to pay their bills, struggling to keep their lights on, struggling. You go to the church for help, and they say, well, ma'am, you don't come every Sunday, and ma'am, you don't tithe 10%. So we can't help you. Is that right, y'all? Is it? Now, don't get me wrong. I believe in the tithing. And the reason why I believe in the tithing is because, you got a church. You got to pay for things in that church, You got to pay for the lights to be on. You got to pay for the building. You got to pay for supplies. You got to pay for insurance. So that needs to be paid for, okay? So I can understand some money. But the other money that's left, you're supposed to help your community. You're supposed to help the people in the church. The little people. I'm not talking about the wealthy people in the church. The little. All right, along. Y'all, he also said God would bless you by what you give also. Okay? You as a person. People sitting on all that money, got so much money, when they die, just going to go all over the family members. Some people give the money to their dog, their cat, their animals, sitting on all that money. Greedy, that's what I call it. Moving right along, I want to play this one last video. Listen to this.
Gino Jennings preaches that pastors should not be paid to preach. He teaches that they must get a job and go to work and that members of the church should not buy them houses, cars or send their kids to school. He is against pastors receiving a salary or financial support from their congregations. He believes that pastors should work secular jobs to support themselves and their families, emphasizing that preaching should be a calling, not a means of livelihood.
You yourself in no way are provided for by the church.
I got a job.
This is true, but are you saying you are in no way cared for by the church?
I work. Church don't got to pay. The church don't have to take care of me. I got 7 kids.
Okay.
And I'm not looking for the church to take care of my 7 kids.
Absolutely.
I got a job. I work. I take care of my family. The Bible says if you don't work, you don't eat. Even the Bible point out the Apostle Paul occupation.
Absolutely.
And said he was a tent maker.
You don't work, you don't eat. That's what he said. And the Bible does say that. You don't work, you don't eat. Maybe these people have been sitting on the government system for so long. Working bare minimum. I work part-time, and I still get my food stamps and government help. I still get it. I work part-time. 3 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever. He also said preaching should be a calling. I agree with that. Some people say they were called to preach. So you called to preach, but yet you want an income. You don't want to work because you called to preach. I'm called to have a church. I'm called to preach to the people. You got street preachers and people laugh at them. I I applaud them, because they're getting the word out, I guess when you look at Jesus, he didn't have a church. I guess you can kind of call him like a street preacher, because he was going around to different places and talking to people, and they admired him. They did, okay? He wasn't getting paid for it. Wasn't getting no donations or nothing. Jesus worked, okay? He sold whatever he made, okay? That's a job, okay? I know pastors like to move around and go to different countries and preach and stuff like that. Then have a side business on the side, okay? So you can do that. Have people working for you, okay? That's all you got to do. You ain't got to get a salary. Now, Gino Jennings does not get a salary, okay? He said he don't need his congregation to take care of his wife and 7 kids. I don't need that. I don't, okay? I'm not taking from the people. I'm trying to give to the people. Give. And minister to them and teach them what they're supposed to do. The do's and the don'ts. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, there's some things now that I don't agree with Gino with, but we'll talk about that another time. But I want you to go down there in the comment section and tell me what you think. I know your pastor getting paid, so I'm not going to even ask you, is your pastor getting paid? I want to know, is your pastor helping the members of the church? Is your pastor rich? Does he have a lot of money? Does he help the community? Does he help the church members when they're in trouble and struggling? Now, I understand if you want to help the church members, let's say your light bills, you're not just going to give somebody some money. Bring me the light bill so I can see it, because people can lie, y'all. People can lie. Okay. I want to know, does your pastor has a heart? Is he working a job? Is he? With all that being said, y'all, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And watch the next video coming up. Thank you.
Yeah.